Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And tonight we have a lot of fun in store for you as we talk about Star Wars. We talk about parks, what's coming up in 2021. We also talk about, what else are we talking about tonight, Katie? WandaVision, park hopping, and all of that fun stuff. And we also see the return of Egon Bonkers for headlines from the future, which I know that's what everybody really wants, is just headlines from the future.
That's what everyone's been asking for.
They actually don't want to watch us. They want to watch Egon.
Yeah, I know.
Say what's going to happen in the future. And really, he's just like, what are those fortune teller? He's just a fortune teller.
Oh.
We didn't know it, but he's a fortune teller. So everybody, welcome to 2021. This is the first Geeks Corner episode of the new year. We are excited for 2021. It's going to be a great year, I think. And it was interesting because I wrote an article today about what's coming in the Disney parks this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to that article, at the bottom of said article, you know how they have the related articles featured thing? It showed an article I did a year ago that's, here's what's coming to the parks in 2020.
Oh, no. And I'm sure none of it happened.
Some of it did.
Well, magic happens.
The castle happened also.
The castle
Hong Kong.
happened.
Like, there was surprising quite a few things that actually did happen. So thank you all for joining us. Happy New Year. It's great to see you all in the chat. But let's get right to it, huh?
Shall we?
Shall we? Yes, we shall. I will ask you a question. I think we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming first in 2021, and then we'll hit headlines for the future. I'm calling an audible here.
Sure.
Just because I think it'll be fun and it'll make sense.
Okay.
So, does that sound good?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You're like, just load the what's coming in.
No, because you...
Oh, I didn't even click on the right link, so
that's why
it doesn't matter.
I was watching it happen, and I was like, well, that's
okay too. It's all good. So 2021, there's going to be a lot of things coming to the Disney parks around the globe that we are super excited about. We'll obviously start off here at the Disneyland Resort because that's the one that's closest to us. And starting off, oddly enough to think, this is the 20th anniversary of Disney California Adventure and also the Downtown Disney District. In fact, it's this month.
Well, this month for Downtown Disney District.
And I think it's the 20th for DCA, isn't it?
That's next month.
Next month, February 20th. That's right.
Not 20th, but...
What's the date?
15th?
I don't remember.
8th?
I was at college when this happened.
I was at college.
So I came back in the summer and I was like, hey, look, a whole new theme park they want to charge me for.
I want to say it's the 15th in my gut.
Okay, let us know. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. I remember it was June 12th when they rededicated it.
June 12th, 2015 was the rededication.
That one I was there for and I remember, but
yeah.
Okay, anyway.
But it's really crazy to think that it's been 20 years. 20 years since, wow, the greatest theme park opened. DCA 1.0. It all went downhill after that.
Comments we want to hear. February 8th. Thank you, Roger. And Roger has been there every year since then on the 8th. And I assume he will be in Buena Vista Street this year, hopefully. It will be interesting. It'll be really interesting to see what, if anything, is done to celebrate it, because they really don't want people showing up, or at least too many of them. That will be interesting. And Clocky has a map for this, which is super cool. Yeah, I first came to it, I believe, in June, end of June, if I remember correctly, of 2020 is the first time I went to Disney California Adventure. And I feel
2020?
No. In the year 2000.
I was like,
Yeah, don't read and do things at the same time. In the year 2000, it was in June. And the weird thing I think about it is I don't remember the second time I went, because I went that first time. And I think there was some deal where you could basically double the price of your pass, and then you could have a pass for both. I was like, no, I don't want to go to that. Katie has one too.
I do.
And that's a good idea. But it was one of those weird things where it's just like, I don't know if I want to pay double the pass price to get into the park. Like, I didn't dislike it. I just didn't love it.
See, and I grew up on DCA 1.0.
But you could get in more often.
I could, yes.
I didn't live here.
I know. So that's why DCA 1.0 was so special to me. Because it was new. And when I was a kid, I was like, whoa, this is new. And No one was there
that was a perk.
because
Yeah.
it was not the best.
I feel like we went on just about every ride the first time we went, and I don't remember there being any lines. And I do remember going back to Disneyland and kind of being like, all right, we're back.
Burbank ice cream was my go-to when I would get ice cream.
I did love that train.
It was a very special train. Anyway, yes, I love DC.
That is one thing I do miss, is that was really cool.
It was such a nice train.
Yeah.
And it was really cool how everything connected. And yes, Fiddler Pfeiffer is nice. It's lovely. But it's not
just move the train around the corner or something.
It's not a train.
Well, they could have put it along where like the seating area of Smoke Jumpers, as if it was coming out between Smoke Jumpers and Fiddler.
Wow.
I think that would have been a better choice.
Yeah.
Because then we could still have the train, and that would be
a train.
Every Disney theme park should have a train of some sort.
Superstar Limo.
And Superstar Limo.
I was really upset because I never went on Superstar Limo as a kid, but I really loved.
I'm pretty sure that first trip was the only time I went on it, and honestly, I couldn't tell you hardly anything about it.
I was obsessed with the exterior, though. I loved the idea of superstars and limos.
I remember that, and I remember, I think, neon lights or something.
Oh,
inside.
yeah.
Which is like, okay.
I probably wouldn't have cared about the attraction at all as a kid, but
I'd be curious. Yeah, I would be curious if they tried to remake that attraction today, how it would work.
They need to do the original plan for it, which is like the Rock and Roller Coaster-esque, which obviously would have been...
Well, it would make a lot more sense, just take up a bigger footprint.
Yeah, it would obviously would have been insensitive if they have pursued it at the time, being chased by paparazzi in a high-speed chase. But...
Instead, we're going to make it a dark ride.
It's a really slow-moving dark ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see, because I think it would work in a Rock and Roller Coaster type format.
Yeah, I feel like that's a better situation. You can do more with the lights. You could do, like, there's a lot of effects that they could pull off. The other thing that's celebrating its 20th anniversary at the Disneyland Resort is the Downtown Disney District.
Which is crazy.
I actually can remember I visited Downtown Disney in, I think it was late 1999 with my friend Luke. And we went to Disneyland, and we went on the monorail, and we got our first glimpse of Downtown Disney. And Luke was from very rural Texas, and I was from very rural Minnesota. And there were all these lights and shops that were outdoors, and like we were blown away. Like, this is the coolest thing ever, and it's not even open yet. And that's all I remember about it from that year, was just I remember seeing what it was becoming and thinking it was such a cool concept and idea, because I'd never thought of like Disney and stores. Like, I don't know. I still like Downtown Disney, but especially when they have live entertainment and like.
I also think it's come a long way from where it once was. Like, yeah, it's so funny to me.
Well, and it's had its highs and lows.
I was listening to something where they were talking about everything that's been in Downtown Disney. I totally forgot about the Ann Gettys. That was in Downtown Disney.
Yeah. I had a friend who shopped there all the time.
Wow.
That I used to work with. Yeah.
That's really funny. But yeah, it's something that once you said the Ann Gettys, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember walking by the Ann Gettys all the time.
There were lots of random stuff down there that really didn't make any sense.
Oh no.
Although, as you look at how Disney Springs in Florida has developed, the Downtown Disney stuff that used to be here makes more sense.
But we never had a Pleasure Island.
That is true.
Darn.
But as long as there's Raglan Road, I don't care.
Oh, I wish we had a Raglan Road here.
I would love to open a Raglan Road.
Like, you're gonna single-handedly.
That's all I like. If I could have the perfect job on the planet, I would open a pub in Downtown Disney, and that would be my job.
Ugh, I miss Raglan
I feel
Road.
Like that'd be perfect. We could do GEEKS Corner from the top floor. It'd be great.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. It'd be a different show.
There'd be bread pudding.
There would be bread pudding and there'd be fish and chips. So I would be happy.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary. We've got Snow White's Enchanted Wish that we've talked about a few weeks ago. That will be arriving sometime in 2021. Like
whenever the park's
open, I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna be summer, like just looking at the numbers, but I don't know. Then we've got Avengers Campus opening.
Whenever the park opens.
Now, this is funny to me, is it seems to me the last few days this has been news that it's opening in 2021, and I feel like Disney told us this months ago.
Well, yeah.
Or at least they kind of basically said it was going to be next year. But maybe now it's officially next year. I don't know. Or this year would be next year. I don't know.
I still think that there's this question mark of if Disneyland even opens this year. I think Disneyland's going to open this year.
That's why I think it's going to be summer.
Especially with the vaccine.
I think the vaccine will get us to buy.
Agreed. But it's really funny because it's like, okay, everybody's running it as like, oh, it's opening in 2021. And I'm like, okay, but when? Because it's all about when.
Yeah.
Disneyland opens. Yeah, no, we're not going to do another date thing, Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey is 100%. Everybody can see this. This is going forever. We are not going to do another date thing on when Disneyland's going to reopen because we just do not know. Like, it's impossible to guess. We never guessed we'd be where we're at today.
Yeah, we really didn't. But the funny thing to me, and I think about it a lot because you have a piece of merchandise that's somewhere in the studio that says
the Runaway Railway,
Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, opening in 2019.
Yep.
Because obviously things got pushed back. It opened in 2020.
Yep.
But now it's going to be the same thing for merchandise where it's like Avengers Campus opening 2020.
But maybe they didn't put opening.
They did.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I had some.
Avengers Campus 2020.
Yeah, I'd like some of that.
To my understanding, they were just giving them out to cast members.
Oh, I heard about that. That's right.
Because Avengers Campus 2020, it's going to be that same merchandise where you look back on it and you go,
that's fun.
That's funny. Yeah.
So then we hop over to Walt Disney World.
Whoa!
We got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure,
which is actually opening in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could open any day.
Well, I mean,
to be
they just put
honest.
one of them there TikTokers.
She walked through. She didn't actually go on the ride.
Well, I'm saying, but it was good enough for her to walk through without a hard hat.
Yeah.
So
that is true. It'd have been cooler with a hard hat, to be completely honest. Like, I've always wanted to be at a level where, as a media, like a member of the media, we have to go in something where we wear a hard hat.
That'd be very cool.
Like, the closest I've got is I got to go into Cars Land 6 weeks before it opened.
True.
And that was amazing, but it wasn't hard hat amazing. I want hard hats.
You want hard hats. That's fair.
That would be cool. So
that's fair.
Keep sharing our articles and leaving comments on them.
And tell them that Mr. Daps has to wear a hat at all times, but he'd be happier if it was a hard hat.
I would wear a hard hat. Maybe they make a hard hat Chilby.
No.
That'd be pretty cool. You have to admit. That'd be amazing. Anyway, so we got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opening at Epcot. We've also got Harmonious sometime this year coming to Epcot, which I think is amazing because we have one big barge there and we've got at least 3 more coming, and I think a centerpiece or something. And we have been talking to Murray, who's in Florida right now. And he said the pictures actually make them look bigger than they actually are when you're walking around. And he's like, there's not really any way to take a picture that doesn't make it look.
That's fair.
He's like, it's the way it is. And I was like, oh, okay.
I do think, and Bailey, don't write this down, I'm not making an official prediction. I think it's going to be the last quarter of the year for Harmonious.
Really?
Because I don't think a nighttime spectacular is going to be safe until then.
I'm going to bet they're going to push it earlier.
Like summer?
Sure. I'm going to guess before my birthday, we'll see Harmonious.
I just don't see them being able to successfully and safely have mass gatherings of crowds every night.
Yeah, that's the part that confuses me. But they've already started adding the projections and the mini firework things at Magic Kingdom. And the fact that they've added or updated the Fantasmic logo on the app makes me think they're trying to figure out ways to
Fantasmic,
do this.
You can successfully socially distance and control the crowds that come into
I agree.
Harmonious is a full nighttime spectacular.
And then the flip side of that is looking at Murray's photos and the videos in our chats. Mm-hmm. Epcot's not fall. It'll be interesting to see how with Art Festival of the Arts starting this weekend. It looks to me like it's not nearly as full as it doesn't look 35%. It looks maybe a step up from where it was when we went in September, but not a whole lot more. Magic Kingdom looks more full. Animal Kingdom about the same. Hollywood Studios looks a little bit more full, which that was the only one I have even felt like there was lots of people in. And then And then Epcot, most of the things he's been showing me, I'm just like, you need more people in there. Oh, see, there we go. There's hard hat approved, or OSHA approved hard hat cowboy hats. So that's close, and some fedoras. So we need to work on that.
You're gonna don't get a cowboy
this
hat.
This is a very good idea, Clocky. Thank you.
He got a cowboy hat like 3 months ago
for Halloween, and now he's threatened to wear it. It's great.
The amount of times in a week that I get a text that's like, should I wear my cowboy hat today?
Because I know how much you love it. Yeah, I don't know when it'll open. I just have a feeling they're pushing to get it open to get more people into Epcot.
I personally hope it doesn't open until my birthday. I think this is very funny that we're using our birthdays as markers because our birthdays
we're being more vague about this because dates haven't worked in the past.
Yeah, no, but I think that our birthdays are also a far enough distance apart,
yeah,
and they're also kind of good markers because your birthday is the start of
summer,
and mine's kind of right before the holiday season starts.
Yep.
I would hope for safety that it's later.
Yeah. And we'll see. Like, it'll be interesting to see. Then we move over to Disneyland Paris. We got Disney's Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel. I have actually stayed at the Hotel New York, and it's a very nice hotel. This is going to be awesome.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I just think it's going to be really cool. You've got Cars Route 66 road trip coming. I think that's going to be fun. I don't know if it's going to be awesome, but I think it'll be
cute.
I think it's going to be charming.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be one of those things that you want to ride every time you visit, but it's not going to be like a have to ride every time you visit.
Is it going to be at Studios?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a high point of Studios.
It's going to be the redone tram tour.
Yeah, no, so I think that
it'll be good.
Yeah, especially with all the changes that are coming to Studios, I think it'll be welcome.
I will be interested to see if it makes me want to go to the Studios.
See, I've never been. I've just heard.
To me, the Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Paris, I've been to Anaheim, I've been to Florida, and I've been to Paris. And of all of the parks, for all of them, Walt Disney Studios is my absolute bottom.
I've heard that.
And it's the only one where I physically was like, I want to go now. Like, I just did not enjoy it. And part of that was the experience I had while at it. Like, I didn't feel like the clientele was very kind to each other, and I don't do well with not kind people generally.
True.
And it was just a very interesting experience where I was like, I'm okay leaving. Let's go. Whereas Disneyland Paris, absolutely love. Like, that's probably one of my top 3. Move on over to Hong Kong Disneyland. They've already got their Castle Magical Dreams, but they're going to be celebrating their 15th whenever they reopen. So there's not a lot to report there. Shanghai is going to be celebrating its 5th anniversary.
Which is crazy. That's been 5 years.
It seems like just yesterday, Murray was texting me as he's waiting in the queue while I am getting ready to live stream their live stream. And like, I don't know. That's amazing to me how quickly things have gone. But Steve Stevens says every day is a good day to wear a cowboy hat. That's a good line.
Don't tell him that. Because next thing I know, I'm going to be at work. I'm going to turn around and this man is going to have walked in with a cowboy
I'm going to bring
hat.
Steven with me so we can film it.
Oh boy.
So that means we have to wait till COVID's over. So you got some time.
Oh, good.
Anyway, yes, Rise of the Resistance is a big reason to go to the studios. When it's running the Indiana Jones stunt show, I really enjoy. I like.
I thought Studios wasn't getting Rise. I thought they were just getting Smugglers.
I think he's talking. Oh, I was thinking Hollywood Studios in Florida.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Sorry, I was still on Paris.
All right. Well, we are going to move on now because it is time for headlines from the future. We are bringing Egon back to tell us what is coming in the future. So, Egon,
take it away.
What's going on?
After his departure from The Mandalorian in the end of Season 2, Grogu, known as the Child, has returned for the 12th season of the hit Star Wars show. While his name is still Grogu, he is now a Jedi, and he's also now asking to be called the Man. Really? The Man? Is that the best he can come up with?
Oh, yeah.
What would you call Grogu when he grows up? That is the question.
That's a very good question. Definitely not the man.
It's just a bad
I
choice
also
in
think
every
it's
way
really
imaginable.
funny because instead of Baby Yoda, you just call him Yoda.
Or Grogu.
Yeah, I mean, his
Okay.
name.
Let's take a look at the next one.
Disney's Animal Kingdom is going to the birds, quite literally. In a recent announcement by Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro, it was announced that the newest expansion of the park will be dedicated to the world of Ducktales. After being rebooted 10 years ago, Ducktales has continued to grow more and more popular. The expansion will allow guests to visit Duckburg, fight criminals with Darkwing Duck, and even crash a plane with Launchpad McQuack. Real birds will inhabit the new expansion. Consumer Products are already working on a line of hats and umbrellas for guests who will be visiting.
I could see that happening.
I could see that happening too. I think that's very plausible. Especially the hats and umbrellas.
I love the idea of them leaning more into DuckTales.
Oh, definitely.
I love that idea.
I do think I wish they sold hats and umbrellas every day. Well, they do sell hats, but they need to sell them right at the entrance to the aviary, because that part's always terrifying.
Agreed.
You don't like it even more than I do, but I also wear hats all the time.
I'm scared of birds.
So you're gonna love this area. I'm just curious when it's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that'll be very interesting. Clocky says he's in on this. Always thought they should make a Duckburg next to Toontown. I agree.
I love that.
I think honestly, where the motorboats used to be, I think you take that whole
Oh.
area. You'd have to reroute the monorail, but you could make it part of Duckburg.
Yeah.
Like the monorail could go through Duckburg, and I think that would be super cool. All right, we got one more.
All right.
You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Let's see what you got, Egon.
After major successes with Iron Man, The Lion King, and The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau is going back to nature again and making a live-action CGI version of the animated classic, Bambi. Is that a good idea? I don't know.
I thought I'd let it run out that time so you could see
Good.
how it was supposed to end, because I cut it soon. Live action / CGI Bambi.
Get
We're-
traumatized in live action.
and still argue about if it's live action.
True. Very true. Yeah, no, it's gonna be more sad.
Maybe he'll make it a comedy. He'll bring Seth Rogen in to be Thumper.
Rogen. Seth Rogen.
If you
Every
haven't seen
time.
Muppets Now yet, you need to watch it.
Every time I hear Seth Rogen's name, the last episode of Muppets Now to me is like perfect Muppet form.
Oh, it totally is. That was
But just the babies walking around going, Seth Rogen.
Bambi 2, Bambi's Revenge. Well, no, they're going to get a different director to do that one,
Wait,
because
Bambi becomes the hunter?
Bambi becomes, well, it moves into the world of Zootopia.
Oh.
So then everything's
mhm.
turned upside down, and you're like, why aren't there people in Zootopia? This answers that
It's because
question.
Bambi.
Bambi got his revenge.
ScarJo is Bambi's mom.
I love that. That's good. That's
Oh,
good.
that's funny.
Yeah, see, you never know. It's the future, and
Oh.
Egon only reports the truth. So yeah, that's great. Park hopping has returned to Walt Disney World, and Murray and I tested it on its first day,
Mhm.
which was fun. Was that Friday? Yeah, it was New Year's Day.
Yeah, it was New Year's Day.
So we live streamed for 2.5 hours. I sat in this chair. It was great. And Murray started in the Magic Kingdom and then drove to his hotel at the Swan and then went into Epcot, and it worked wonderfully. And I saw other people made it in all 4 parks in one day, which was fun.
It's great.
As long as there's capacity, you're good to park hop. Do you think park hopping is essential to the Walt Disney World experience?
Yes.
And why?
Epcot.
That's the correct
No,
answer.
it's true.
Well, yeah, like Murray started Animal Kingdom today and ended at Epcot.
My days at the Walt Disney World Resort do not feel complete unless I have stepped foot in Epcot.
Okay.
Does not matter where I was that day. I want to be in Epcot at some point.
I agree.
So
most of the times, like sometimes we end up different places, but like it's either Epcot
can't
or
be in Epcot every day, I guess.
Yeah, you can go to Raglan Road.
Yeah.
Bailey, you're correct. It wasn't 24 hours. However, I do feel like we could do that now.
Who, you?
No, I just think we could actually technologically do a 24-hour live stream now.
For sure, but like, is there a sign up?
I mean, we did a 12-hour basically live stream on was it Christmas Day?
That was Christmas Day, correct?
Yeah.
No, there is technology to do it. I also really like that our chat is talking about NHL mascots.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
That's
because
great.
Gritty. I also know nothing about NHL except for Gritty.
Okay.
So
let's talk about WandaVision then.
Yeah.
Since we all agree that park hopping is crucial to your Walt Disney World Resort. I'll be curious to see if they bring back Fast Pass Plus soon.
I'd be interested in that for sure.
Or, like they're going to bring back these things eventually. So it'll be interesting to see
the
what happens.
timeline of when they do it. Yeah.
There's a new WandaVision TV spot. It gives one of many theme songs that I love that they're doing multiple theme songs. And it's by, Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez. And it's brilliant. And we get our first real feel for where they're going with the parodying, I'm going to say, of the different eras of TV shows, and apparently goes all the way up through the 2000s. I'm hearing there might even be some Office connections. We'll see. Through, I think, is it 9 episodes?
I don't know.
I feel like that's what
6 or 8.
I feel like I saw 9 on Disney Plus. But what did you think of this song and this
the song
preview?
Is super fun.
Okay.
The show's gonna give you nightmares.
Totally.
It's
modern tragedy.
Yeah. And
it looks like it's going to be a modern tragedy.
Well, and there's very much horror-ish elements to it.
Which makes sense for where they're going with Doctor Strange.
Yes. But the scene specifically, when somebody is crawling out of the manhole and then she calls them, they turn around and it's just a black
and
figure.
It switches also. Switches time. So I think you're totally right.
I'm also very interested at the end. You see it's Wanda clearly fighting something, and it seems like she is using her powers in some way, shape, or form. So I'm very interested into what that means. The thing that we both said when it ended was, I'm more confused now.
Yeah, they're definitely not giving away any clues. They're giving away
more confusion.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a chance that by the end of the series, we're just going to be confused too. And then we're going to have to wait for either the next movie or the next series or whatever. And that will be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it, though. It definitely upped my level of intrigue for this show that starts on January 15th. The other thing I'm really looking forward to is Star Wars High Republic. This is one of the first books that came out. And I'm very much looking forward to reading it. I just picked it up today at Barnes & Noble. See, it says Barnes & Noble exclusive right there. But it's called Light of the Jedi. And what I think is really interesting about this is they're telling the stories of the Jedi in their prime. I'm going to say end of their prime, just from a hunch, because it's 200 years before Phantom Menace. And if, 1,000 generations, the Jedis were the Guardians. And so if it's 1,000 generations, that's 20,000 years-ish. So 200 years in the grand scheme of things isn't that much. And I'm very curious to see what they can do with that. That's not completely ruining the Republic yet, not ruining the Jedi yet, but probably planting seeds for the downfall of both.
Yeah.
And so I think it's an intriguing time for them to explore. And just from having read some of the other books that they've put out in the last couple of years, they've really been doing a really solid job of storytelling, world building, and perspective changing. And so I'm curious to see if this does the same thing. And there's, I think, 2 others that came out today. There's a comic strip that comes out tomorrow. And then there's more things that come out in February. And as time goes on, you get more. What do you think, though, about exploring the time when things were going well?
I think it's interesting. I think it also adds a lot of context to Star Wars as a whole. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been, even though there's not really Jedi anymore. But
that we know of.
Well, there's not Jedi as a whole.
Yeah, they're not the norm.
Yeah, well, it's there are people who follow the Jedi way, but there's not a band of Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a very interesting concept of like when it's all going well.
When there actually was an order.
Yeah, when there is and people that are willing to follow it more specifically.
I haven't read the book yet, but the concept very much reminds me of the Knights of the Round Table. Like you have that whole Camelot thing where things are going well, they're on their missions for truth and justice, and then things go bad and it all falls apart. And I feel like that's kind of the bigger picture story that's going to be told in Star Wars, and I'm okay with that. Just because it's a classic, like it's a story that gets told over and over and over again. It's just this is the one that stuck around. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, and I'm looking forward to read it. Probably get a review up once I've done it. Maybe I'll get the other ones too if I like this one. We'll see.
Maybe.
Keep bookstores alive.
Yeah, support your local bookstore.
I wish I had a local bookstore that was like a little one that I could be like, hey, I want to keep the little bookstore open. But right at this point, I want to keep any bookstore open. So I went to Barnes & Noble.
We don't have many a local bookstore around here. But if you have a local bookstore, please go support them.
Yeah, even if it's online. Like they will appreciate it.
Agreed.
All right, Katie, we're running out of time.
You should go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the Disney and Geek news. As it happens, while you're typing in websites, you should go to geekscorner.live and to see all of the cool things that we are doing there, including our photos and some blog posts that we have over there. It's a lot of fun.
And eventually we'll have segments up there too.
Woohoo!
And any other ideas that you might have, throw them at us and we will see if we can do them. But also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got videos that are continuing to go up. Murray continues to upload straight from Florida, which is kind of fun. And he'll have many more videos going up. I have videos that are going up as I get to them. And then we've also got our live streams and Disney Reporter and you name it. There's stuff going up all the time, and Disney This Day. So you can get Disney history every single day. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.